Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to watch this.
The Fed meets this week, and this one really matters. Inflation is sitting at 3%. And Powell's about to start cutting rates. If this happens, it marks a major policy shift and one that affects every American with a mortgage, credit card, or investment account. So in this video, we're going to walk through what's driving this decision and what the data actually says and what you can expect before the Fed makes it official.
Okay, before they make it official, though, let's go to Polymarket, which I do not condone this type of gambling or gambling at all. But it is very interesting to see how these predictions come through. So Fed decision in October, we have, this was based on $242 million. And then we have December, which is an 83% chance that we're going to have a 25% basis point decrease again. And then we have, where was it for next year, 2026? There was an estimated Fed decision October, December, Fed rate cut by 2026. Where did it go? Fed decision. I just saw it. Okay, well, it must have been off Kalshi, but we have I don't know, January, probably no change, but there was one for 2026, which said there was like a more than 50% chance, I think it was like 60, that there's going to be two cuts in 2026. Let's go back to here.
Is a big couple months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple reasons, as you guys probably all know. Right now, the probabilities of all the folks, all the economists, they all believe that we're going to have a quarter point next to Fed meetings, right? I mean, I think everybody, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people agree to that. A high probability. It's in the 80s, 90%, depending on the poll.
Yeah.
So that's all positive.
By the way, I think the reason why I'm looking at Polymarket right now is because I think it's better than a poll when there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands, or at a minimum, sometimes tens and hundreds of millions of dollars behind some of these bets.
However, rising inflation and rising unemployment, those are two things, I think, heading into this next 60 days that are very, very uncertain.
We've been talking about this for the last few months, where the Fed is going to have to decide between the job market and inflation, right? The economy and the job market. And the truth is that this is the turning point right here, because both core and regular inflation came back at 3%. So it is going up. It is above their target. And yet, if they're going to cut rates, that means the focus is going to be on the job market.
So I think the other thing that's kind of funny is that Powell now brought back the word transitory. Like this is actually kind of funny. Now, you guys may or may not know that he actually started talking about transit.
By the way, transitory is confirmed to be one of the actual tools that the Fed has in their toolbox.
In February 2020.
Yeah.
That was the first time. And then in 2021, because I checked before the podcast, he said it 6 times in the year 2021. He kept using the word transitory, and then it became kind of a joke, right? Everybody started joking around, and they used the word temporary too a couple times. So, but he just now brought it out again.
Right, but this time he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to explain the joke to you. It was funny because nothing was really that transitory. So it looks like, though, they're going to be ending quantitative tightening and possibly, doing the more of the easing in the upcoming year. I want to show you a couple other things, though, because I was going through, and here it is. I have been thinking the exact same thing. If that mayor in New York wins, I do strongly feel like we're going to have more of the investment class people coming down to Florida. Some of the people who were able to leave during the pandemic, some of those same people, specifically New York City, so it's not going to be very as expansive as it was during the pandemics, where it was swaths of people from numerous states in the Northeast and in the West. But listen, despite what you think about politics, I think that there is some, like, the reality here is that there are people who are going to leave, the people with money.
There's this communist uprising, and I don't see anything slowing it down in the Democrat Party. Do you?
No, this Mindani is the Democrat Party. The minute he gets elected, assuming that happens, and then becomes mayor, he's going to be the most prominent Democrat in America. Everything that he does, all the inane ideas, all the leftist drivel that has failed every time it's been tried. But when he does that, that's going to be a real world experiment that voters, not just in New York City, well, some of them are never going to learn, but all throughout the country are going to see that's what the Democratic Party stands for. I already know that if he gets elected, real estate in Palm Beach is going to go up even higher. We're not necessarily, asking for folks to flood down here, but the reality is I think he's going to make Bill de Blasio look like Ronald Reagan.
This communist.
So, I mean, I think that's, I've been thinking the exact same thing over the past couple of weeks as we see the lead on Zohran Mamdani, whatever his name is, kind of, I think it's tightened a little bit with his opponent, but he's still maintaining a lead. And then we have, along those same lines, this is relevant. I have a lot of Ron DeSantis today, but this is about the property taxes. So if you combine a couple of these things together, I mean, I think this thing alone, right? Breaking. Governor Ron DeSantis confirms Floridians will get to vote on officially abolishing property taxes statewide so they don't pay rent to the government. Let's listen.
Bulldog on it. And we're happy to do that. And that's obviously going to lead into doing the ballot initiative for property tax for homestead Floridians. And basically, I think what Blaze is showing, and this is just one part of it, there's going to be a lot more that comes out on local government. The reality is, Florida, we have the #1 economy in the country 3 years in a row. We've got a massive tax base of people who aren't Florida residents. So shouldn't we want them to pay and our people to have relief? I mean, we have the ability to do it. So we're going to work on all that, and you'll see that Bulldog on it. And we're happy.
So he confirms that we are going to be seeing that on the ballot box, which is, I wasn't too sure we would even see that. And honestly, you'd think that would be something that every single person in Florida will vote on. But I have a feeling that we're going to get a lot of, I don't know, propaganda is the right word, but we're going to get a lot of news and headlines coming out on in media on why this is like, a terrible thing for Floridians to do to dissuade us from voting on this in the direction of abolishing property taxes. So we'll see how it goes. I try to keep an open mind because, quite honestly, I don't know everything. So as I learn more things, I make new decisions, and but yeah, we'll see what goes on for that. Last thing I have here is the just a Monday market update from my brokerage, which is a little bit surprising. I saw sales up in Tampa Bay by 17%, and this is a monthly thing. So this is year over year, actually. Let's take a look. This is Tampa, St. Pete. This is Sarasota, Jacksonville, Orlando. Okay, so this is year over year, actually. So that's a little surprising. I would have thought that this year was pretty similar to last year, actually. Oh man. The amount of solds have gone up 17%. Sale price has decreased by 2%, which I would have thought would be more, given that it's on average 4 to, 10% across the board here. Price decreases. Pendings gone up, so that makes sense because of the solds. New listings because of the sold. Okay, so actives have gone up quite a bit as well. The months of supply have gone up. So overall, stronger for buyers.